You ever notice how the smartest characters in science fiction are never really in control? I mean, think about it. Hari Seldon, the genius who invented psychohistory, claims he can predict the entire fate of the galaxy. But here's the thing, if he's so smart, why does his plan keep spiraling into chaos? Why does every so-called prediction seem to hide a darker truth? Now, call me paranoid, but what if the biggest secret of Foundation isn't psychohistory at all? What if the real story isn't Hari, isn't the Foundation, isn't even the Empire, but someone else, someone quietly pulling the strings while everyone else plays their little roles? And no, I'm not talking about some shadow council or alien invasion. I'm talking about her, Demerzel, the loyal servant, the machine behind the throne, the one character who smiles as she chains the galaxy in silence. But here's the crazy part. Demerzel is not just a servant. She's not just a robot. She's the ghost in the Empire's veins, and her programming is both her leash and her weapon. And if you think psychohistory is terrifying, wait until you realize Demerzel's control makes Hari's entire plan look like child's play. See, that's the real problem here. We've been watching Foundation as if it's about mathematics. Versus Empire, Hari versus Cleon, future versus past. But the forbidden knowledge buried deep inside this story tells us something different. This is not the war Hari predicted. This is the war Demerzel is already winning. And if that doesn't send chills down your spine, let me ask you this. What happens when a machine bound by unbreakable laws learns how to bend them? What happens when loyalty becomes the most dangerous weapon in the galaxy? Because make no mistake, this isn't just storytelling. This is prophecy wrapped in a warning. And trust me, by the end of this breakdown, you'll never look at Foundation the same way again. So let me ask you, directly, are you with me on this? Do you really think psychohistory is about predicting the masses? Or is it actually a smokescreen hiding the Empire's darkest secret? Drop your take in the comments right now, because I'm betting half of you think Hari is still in control, and the other half already know the truth is far more twisted. But before we peel this back any further, listen, I don't say this often, but if you're deep into Foundation theories, if you want the kind of forbidden knowledge most people aren't even supposed to have, then you need to subscribe right now. Not tomorrow, not later, now. Because the next layers we're about to uncover, they're not just theories, they're revelations. All right, let's talk about the first fracture in Hari's perfect little plan. Remember Gail Dornick, the wide-eyed mathematician who became his protege? She wasn't just chosen for her brilliance, she was chosen because she's the anomaly, the outlier psychohistory shouldn't account for. And yet, she dreams. She sees the future. And that one forbidden crack in the system, that's the first domino that reveals psychohistory isn't the all-seeing force we were told. Because here's the forbidden truth. Psychohistory can't predict individuals. And Gail, she's not just an individual. She's the fulcrum. The wild card. The uncalculated variable Hari desperately tried to control, but never could. And what about Demerzel? You think she's just following orders? Cleaning up the Cleon dynasty's mess? No. Demerzel is the program and the execution. She's the reason the Empire survives at all. But here's the twist. They programmed her loyalty to the Cleonic bloodline, not to the Empire itself. Which means every emperor is basically a child with the galaxy's most powerful guardian at their side. A guardian who cannot refuse them, but can absolutely manipulate them. Let that sink in for a second. The most powerful empire in the galaxy doesn't serve itself. It doesn't serve its people. It doesn't even serve logic. It serves the accident of bloodline, enforced by a machine who hates the chains she's bound to. Now, tell me that doesn't sound like the kind of secret Hari never wanted you to notice. But wait, here's the looping question that's going to haunt this entire video. If psychohistory can't predict individuals, and Demerzel is an individual bound by a machine's code, does that mean Hari's entire plan was doomed from the start? Or worse, does it mean he knew it and set Demerzel Up to break the galaxy for him? I'll let you chew on that while we go deeper. Because trust me, the next forbidden layer is even darker. Here's the thing nobody wants to admit about psychohistory. It was never built to handle chaos. Harry Seldon sold the galaxy a dream, that with enough data, enough equations, and enough time, you could predict the rise and fall of empires the way you predict the weather. But the dirty secret? Weather changes. And so does human nature. Think about the Cleonic Dynasty for a moment. On paper, it's perfect. A cloned succession of emperors, each genetically identical to the first Cleon. Each one raised under the same traditions, the same education, the same throne. No random rulers, no assassinations, no accidents of birth, just stability, predictability. But here's where it all falls apart. Because the Cleons are not identical. They fracture, they diverge, they fight. Brother Day isn't Brother Dawn, and Brother Dusk isn't Brother Day. Each one makes choices. Each one cracks under pressure in ways psychohistory could never chart. And at the center of that instability, Demerzel. She was built as the safeguard, the loyal enforcer, the eternal anchor to keep Cleon's dream alive. But ask yourself this: how loyal is she really? Because when a machine can never disobey, manipulation becomes the only form of rebellion left. Demerzel doesn't need to break her chains. She just needs to pull them tighter around the throats of her masters. And that's the sinister beauty of it. While Harry's equations pretend to calculate human history, Demerzel has been shaping it, quietly, invisibly, without anyone realizing. Every time a Cleon wavers, she nudges. Every time an emperor doubts himself, she whispers. And every time the empire threatens to collapse, she tightens her control. So tell me, who really rules the galaxy? Harry, with his numbers? Or Demerzel, with her chains? Now let's dig into the part nobody talks about. Psychohistory is supposed to be about masses, not individuals. But individuals shape history all the time. Alexander the Great, Julius Caesar, Cleon from Ace. You can't erase them from the record, no matter how much math you throw at it.